Happy Thanksgiving, folks. It's Cute Mimi 25 making a very special video. I thought I would talk about a film trailer that I just saw after, well, that I discovered while I was watching a Friendship is Magic marathon on Discovery Family, but I also saw it a few other times on a few other stations. But I thought I would talk about this film. But before I get into that, let me ask you a question. How many of you know about Home Alone and how many films are out? There's the first one, well, the first two, which are masterpieces with Macaulay Culkin and a few other of the notable characters. Then when they did the third film, they had a different actor altogether. Macaulay was a little done with acting, so they had to come up with another story. Perhaps if they came up with Home Alone 3 sooner, we wouldn't be in this whole debate on which ones are good and which ones aren't. Personally, I think 3 was the last good film. It feels more like a different film altogether. Home Alone 4, which is known as Taking Back the House, I didn't like Home Alone 4. There are some pros and cons. The pro is they try to recreate the original story, but it's not the same without the original cast, so yeah, they pretty much flopped on that. Holiday Heist, which is the 5th one, is decent. Heck, it doesn't even feel like a Home Alone film. I just like to call it Holiday Heist because it feels like a different film altogether. And then there's Home Sweet Home Alone, which is the 6th film. That's coming out as well. Around the same time, this film, Pups Alone, which is a completely different film altogether. But I like to still call it Home Alone just with dogs instead of a kid. This film will feature Jerry O'Connell, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Rob Schneider, and Dolph Lundgren, and several other members of the crew that will work on this film. What I want to ask you guys is, do you think Pups Alone will actually be successful, or do you think it will flop? That's why I want to make this video about this film. I'm not going to talk about Home Sweet Home Alone because we can all agree Home Alone after the 2nd film is pretty much trash. Well, somewhat trash. But I'll talk about Home Sweet Home Alone in a different film or video. But for this video, let's talk about Pups Alone. I saw the trailer. It's about a family, a dad, a little girl, and their dog. They leave an old house and move into a new house, and then there's a neighborhood with other dogs. That's all they show in the trailer. I don't know what's going to happen in the actual film, but I think this film may have some sympathy from me. It is available on Dish pay-per-view, and I'm not sure when it'll be available in theaters, but time will tell. But I've got faith in this film. As for, well, the Home Sweet Home Alone film, no faith for me because, let's face it, any Home Alone film after 3 is pretty much trash. Well, depending on how you look at it. I like to consider them as different films, and yeah, that's why I made this video to begin with. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Cute Mimi 25 saying, give me your thoughts. What is your favorite Home Alone film, and how do you feel about Pups Alone? This isn't going to be made by Disney. It's made by Saban and Paramount. So I think someone at Paramount stole an idea from 20th Century Fox and Disney, which is funny because 20th Century Fox is now owned by Disney. So they're now called 20th Century Studio, but I still call them 20th Century Fox because that's what I grew up with, and that's what I'm calling it. So, well, I better end off here.